sprint of a season turns into a marathon, and the Power in game number 3 of 5 games in 5 days. Welcome on in, everybody, here at Azusa Pacific. We are here for the Power facing off against the Inland Valley Pirates. Power 13-2 in the CPCL, 24-3 overall, taking on the 8-6 Inland Valley Pirates. This game has a ton of playoff implications. The Pirates will not be eliminated from playoff contention with a loss today, but for the Power, they can punch their ticket. The 1 seed is still up for grabs. Both playoff spots are still up for grabs anyways, but for the Power, they can effectively eliminate the Bucks and clinch themselves a playoff spot here at Azusa Pacific in game number 2. First game they took from the Bucks, it was 10-4 the score. 7 runs in the top of the 7th inning were the difference for the Power and the Bucks. Here they're going to take on the Pirates, and it's going to be this lineup for the Power. Owen Michelson leading off, then it's Kai Cunningham and Brett Williams. Junie Rodriguez will bat cleanup, then Caden Richards and Sam Arredondo, who got his first hit with the Power in the first game. Ramon Valenzuela batting 6th, Derek Hurtado, Valenzuela's batting 7th, Hurtado batting 8th, and Amari Conley will round it up in 9th. Luke, the Power showed off the offense. They showed off the arms, too. And really, the takeaway, Javier Vasquez had a great day on the mound.
Yep, he got hit in the 3rd inning, I believe, with a pitch back up the middle. Took it off the leg. Thought he might be down for the count, but was able to get back on the mound, keep on pitching. He threw a full 6 innings and really ate it up for the Power. Closed out by Tyler Crawford. And then finally, Isaac Sanchez. So only using 3 pitchers, really big for the Power.
Michelson with the first pitch, slaps that right into the second baseman, Helene's glove. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Ryan Oakes. And for Ryan Oakes, he's going to be the starter for the Pirates. He's been their ace. 21 innings pitched, a 1 flat ERA. Look, he's been nearly unhittable, and the big lefty ready for a tough lineup. Kai Cunningham standing in the box. First pitch fastball below the zone, 1-0.
Yeah, you talk about that 1-0 ERA, big lefty, throws it pretty hard. I think I remember seeing him at the Power Stadium, and I believe he was in the mid to high 80s on that fastball, so really hard to catch up to, especially for some of these left-handed hitters like Kai Cunningham, who's up to the dish right now.
And a ground ball foul for Cunningham. It's 1-1 now. Cunningham on the season, it's not been a ton of games, just 3. This is 4th, but a .250 batting average, and OPS just a tad under 800. And he's ahead 2-0, or 2-1.
Yeah, Cunningham fills in that left side of the infield for the Power, primarily playing shortstop. I think today might be playing, or I believe he's at shortstop today. Played at third base in his last game, so just that left side of the infield there for him.
Yeah, Cunningham playing short. The second baseman today, Ramon Valenzuela. He's batting 7th for the Power, and Cunningham on the 2-2 pitch. Watches a ball outside. Full count now. Defensively for the Pirates, it looks like this. Major, Cardena, and DiCarlo from left to right in the outfield. 3-2 pitch is below the zone. A full count walk for Kai Cunningham. On the corners in the infield, it's Briseño and Viramontes. Up the middle, Walls and Helene will try and turn 2, and Gray behind the dish, catching for Ryan Oakes. This is a Pirates team that took the first 2 games, or gave the Power the first 2 losses in the CPCL this season. Took 2 of 3 in Palm Springs earlier this year. And right now, Brett Williams puts one on the ground, a chopper to short. They're going to try and turn 2, and the throw to first is not in time. They get Cunningham, but the throw pulls the first baseman, Jordan Viramontes, off the bag, so a fielder's choice allows Brett Williams to reach.
Way to hustle it out for Brett Williams there. Gets the contact on the ground. In danger of turning 2, Williams, who hit a grand slam in the first game, reaches on a fielder's choice.
Now Junie Rodriguez. Rodriguez in the first game, 1 for 5, but did score, had a single in that 7th. The 7th inning that flipped the script. It was tied at 3, but again, that grand slam by Brett Williams changed the story. Rodriguez watches strike 1.
Yeah, you mentioned the Power dropping 2 games to the Pirates this season. Those are still the Power's only 2 league losses, so they're definitely going to want to win this one. Might be a little tired coming off the doubleheader, but no excuse for them coming into this game.
Guys like Junior Rodriguez out of Cal State San Bernardino, a perfect example of the fact that it's not where you play, it's not what kind of field you play on, but it's the player that is in that body, the player in that lineup spot. Rodriguez, not a D2 All-American, but one of the better players at Cal State San Bernardino, and for the Power this season has been great. A 389 batting average, slugging above 600, and OPS approaching 1,200. Sometimes you see a lot of the names and a lot of the big-time schools as the 1-2 pitch gets them looking. So Rodriguez goes down on strikes. And that'll end the inning. So the Power C2 reach base, but a fielder's choice for Brett Williams gets the second out, and Rodriguez strikes out looking. So a 0 on the board for Ryan Oakes. And we'll be right back for the bottom of the first. No score so far. Bottom of the first inning here at Azusa Pacific. Stephen Buxton joined by Luke Dreyer. Cam Woody going to start us out on the mound and going against a really talented Inland Valley Pirates lineup that starts with Javier Cardena, Jackson Gray, Luke Majura the first 3, then Armando Briseño is going to clean things up. No score here. Cam Woody out of Anchorage, Alaska, the Westcliff University graduate, sporting a 2.91 ERA. Toes the slab in the first pitch. A fastball on the ground down to second base, gloved by Valenzuela. And the throw down to first for an out. 1 pitch, 1 out on each side to the leadoff hitter, Javier Cardena, the latest victim.
A nice play from Valenzuela there. He's had some trouble in the field, couple errors in his first games, but good backhand play, throw on to first is in time, and 1 pitch, 1 out for Whitty.
For Whitty, it's not his first time in Southern California, but his first time in the desert this summer with the Power. Played at Westcliff, and it's really because he grew up in Alaska. Guy grew up in Anchorage, Alaska, a place where they can't really start their baseball season until right around May or June, so they play through the summer, and it's a summer where baseball is absolutely awesome in Alaska. They play the Alaskan Collegiate League out there. They have their 4th of July All-Star game at midnight, Luke. It's an absolute sight to see, and Cam Woody's been out to some of those games. And it's 0-2 to Jackson Gray. He told me he came out to California to go to Westcliff because when he was going through the recruiting process, a big part of that was just, what's warm? What gets me out of playing in 20, 30, 40 degrees in Alaska? And he said, all right, Southern California, here I come. Spent his time at Westcliff, a small NAI private school in Irvine, not too far from here, and excelled there. And right now, one of the frontline arms for the Power and trying to continue his baseball career, potentially move on to the pro route. As that pitch below the zone, it's 2-2 now to Jackson Gray.
Alaska, one of the lands where the sun never sets. Being all the way up north there in the summer, sun barely goes down. I've had the pleasure of visiting Alaska once in my life, and let me just say, it was absolutely spectacular. Got some fishing in, saw some grizzly bears, some amazing hikes. Just what a place to be.
Sharp grounder to short. Cunningham, it's going to be a tough play and a long throw. Can't get him in time. So an infield single for Jackson Gray. And that's a guy you can expect to see a lot of production from. A 457 batting average coming into today. So moves the line for Luke Madur, the left fielder today. After him, Armando Briseño. And then the rest of the lineup looks like this. Mark DiCarlo batting 5th. Cole Koniarski batting 6th. Nathan Guangarena batting 7th. Jordan Viramontes, Nathan Helene, and Isaiah Walls rounded out at 8, 9, and 10. That pitch gets by Michelson, and taking second will be Jackson Gray on the wild pitch. 1-0 the count on Luke Madur. It's a Pirates team coming into the game. They've played 14 on the season, 8-6. But the two most important, arguably, the two they took from the Power at Palm Springs Stadium earlier this season. One can make an argument that those two games, as it's 1-1, are the reason that not only they're still in the playoff race, but they arguably control their destiny more than any other team because they play against the Legends and the Power. Right now, this one against the Power. But the Power, all their CPCL games after today are against the Legends. If the Legends beat the Power in all of those, and Inland Valley beats the Power today and beats up on the Legends some more, they should be able to secure a playoff spot, as that one's flared into right field. And it's going to get down foul. Still 1-2. So with the playoff race in full effect, it's a 3-team race right now because after that loss earlier today, the Inland Valley Bucks are going to need all sorts of help to get into that number 2 spot. The 3-time reigning champs, the Palm Springs Power, trying to punch their ticket today and trying to control their own destiny. 1-2 pitch. Inside, ball 2. Last time out, Cam Whitty, it was just 1 inning against Southern Nevada. It was a bullpen game that was all according to plan because Casey was trying to line up a bunch of arms for the 4 games in 3 days that they're playing right now. And Whitty, one of those arms he wanted available. A swing and a miss there. The ball popped out of Michelson's glove, but it looks like he got a piece of it. Against the Coyotes, 1 inning to start the game. Allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. He walked 1 and struck out 2. But those 2 runs, it could have been worse for Whitty because that was 2 runs after he allowed the first 3 runners of the game to reach. So limited the damage, kept the Power in the game, and they took home the win. A slash of a foul ball, that's going to go out of play. It's still 2-2.
Madur is working this count. I believe there's always been 7 pitches in this at-bat. And he's going to see an 8th. And even though it's 2-2, feels like this is almost a full count, but Whitty's trying to prevent that from happening right here.
Woody trying to put him down here. The 2-2 pitch. He looks down and fires. Fly ball in there that's going to drop in front of the center fielder Hurtado. And Valenzuela trying to track that down. He picks it up and fires it in quickly to leave Jackson Gray at third. So runners at the corners now after the hit by Luke Majur. Now Armando Briseño. And Cam Whitty going to take a second to talk to the umpire. Looked like he just wanted a new baseball. So he gets a new Pearl, and Luke Majur coming up. Batting .444 on the season and OPS over 1,000. 5 runs driven in. No score, 1 out in the game, and he's staring down RBI number 6, 90 feet away. Woody working out of the stretch, gets set, glove at his waist, kicks and deals. First pitch, a liner into right field. That's going to get down and roll to the wall. 1 run will score. They're giving Majur the wave. The throw's cut off at second, and it's 2-0. Pirates on top of the power.
Brisson just absolutely hammered that ball into the right field gap. No doubt it was going to get down, rolled all the way to the wall, and they put the wheel on for the runner from first, and he picks himself up a couple of RBIs to start the game.
So a 2 RBI double for Armando Briseño. RBIs number 6 and 7 of the season. So it's a 2-0 game. Mark DiCarlo stands in the box. Woody looks down to second and fires the first pitch. Outside for ball 1.
Whitty, been a hybrid pitcher this year, coming on as a starter and in relief, so being worked all around, and I wonder if that's starting to mess with him a little bit. Has struggled as of late, and I can't imagine it's easy to both start and come out of the pen.
High fly ball into deep center field. Hurtado stands back. He catches it, and the throw to third's a good one, but it's just late. So F8 moves Armando Briseño to third, and runner 90 feet away now, but 2 away for the power. 2-0 score, 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. Cole Koniarski, the next batter. It's the 9th game of the season for Cam Whitty. The 7th start on the season. And most recently, against the Inland Valley Pirates, he pitched against them on the 19th. June 19th against the Pirates. 5 innings to start, 2 earned runs, 3 total. Walked 1, struck out 4. Gets strike 1 on Koniarski. The UNLV product slashes one in there. That's going to hang up for Arredondo. So the 3rd out of the inning comes from Koniarski. We're through 1, 2-0. Pirates on top of the power. Pair of runs in the first for the Pirates make it 2-0 on top of the Power. Part of the lineup coming up, though. Caden Richards, Sam Arredondo, and Ramon Valenzuela, the first three. First pitch Richards sees is strike one. Caden Richards in the first game, 1 for 5, flew out to the outfield a couple times, but singled and scored in the seventh. A pivotal inning for the Power that changed the game completely. But right now, trying to start a comeback, down 2 runs to the Pirates in a game that they can clinch a playoff spot. Richards into right center field. That's down, rolling to the wall. He'll make the turn to second and jog in standing. Leadoff double for Richards starts the offense in the second.
And Richards really a guy that hits most of his balls opposite field, which isn't something you normally see, but he has great opposite field power. 3 home runs on the season, all to the opposite field. That is where he drives a lot of his balls. And putting that one in the right center field gap, we see it once again.
7th double of the season, the 12th extra base hit for Caden Richards. Now Sam Arredondo trying to drive him in. First hit of his Power tenure was a double in his first at-bat. Takes strike one. Ryan Oakes has faced this Power squad before. The big lefty gets a half-hearted swing from Arredondo. He's ahead 0-2. For Oakes, that appearance was at Palm Springs Stadium on the 16th. The Inland Valley Pirates beat the Power 7-4. And he did get the win. 5 innings of 2-run ball. He struck out 8. It was the first CPCL loss of the season for the Power. The lefty fires 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss. Arredondo gunned down, now it's Ramon Valenzuela. 1 out in the second.
Arredondo really just never looked comfortable in that at-bat. Second swing wasn't great. That last swing, also not great. Just not quite comfortable facing off against this lefty.
First pitch, Valenzuela watches, down low, ball 1. For Valenzuela, he's been one of the more efficient players with the Power. Again, part of that crop of players that showed up about 2 weeks ago, but hasn't had a ton of at-bats, but in 22, he's got a .364 batting average, and he's driven in 9. 1-1 count.
You want to talk about efficient RBIs. I think we were talking about Trevor Banning earlier in the season being somewhat of an anomaly. I think we said if he had played as many games as Aaron Judge does, he would drive in about 300 RBIs.
Yeah, so if Trevor Banning, at the pace he was going at, would have driven in about 300 in a season. Ramon Valenzuela not too far off. 2-2 pitch, he goes down swinging. A breaking ball in the dirt had Valenzuela chasing. Now they'll move it over to Derek Hurtado. But basically, with Valenzuela, more of the story is he's got 22 at-bats. He's driven in runs in just about half of them. Now Derek Hurtado. That .250 batting average on the season. He pokes one over to third base. That's fair. It's going to be a tough play, and Hurtado runs out an infield single. Fourth hit of the season for Derek Hurtado. And a couple runners on with 2 outs for Amari Conley.
Second time we've seen a Power player beat out a throw. Brett Williams beat out the fielder's choice in the first inning, and now Hurtado beats out the little bloop single ground ball to third base. Just an awkward play. He's got some wheels though, and hard play to make for the third baseman.
Amari Conley's been heating up a little bit. Had a really tough start to the season. First pitch is inside for ball 1. The Tennessee Martin product started off with a batting average right around the 170s through the first 2/3 of the season. But he's gotten on in his last 5 games. He's got hits in 4 of his last 5. And that's including a 3-hit game against the California Halos. 1-1 count now.
Now, we mentioned the Halos, bottom of the league so far, so if there is one team to get a tune-up game in against, it would be them, and we'll see if he can turn it into a productful last stretch of games here.
He's got hits in 4 of his last 5. He's got them in 5 of his last 7, and that's starting with a game against the Pirates where he went 1 for 3 on the 20th. 1-2 pitch. Got a piece of it to stay alive.
A little bit late on that fastball, just about fights it off, sends it over the power dugout. He needs to speed it up a little bit if he wants to get back in front of that one.
Conley behind 1-2. He's got 2 runners on. Richards at second. He's got Hurtado at first. On the ground, a high chopper right at second base. Helene to first, and that'll end the inning. So the Power put 2 on the bags, but a ground ball ends it. They strand 2. It's 2-0 going to the bottom of the second. Two to nothing here at Azusa Pacific. Stephen Buxton joined by Luke Dreyer. Power trailing the Pirates, and they're going to the bottom half of their lineup. It's Nathan Guangarena leading us off, then Jordan Viramontes and Nathan Helene. Cam Whitty back on the slab. The big righty kicks and fires a first pitch heater for strike 1. Power in the second, a leadoff double by Caden Richards, followed by a 2-out single for Hurtado. On a play where it looked like Hurtado was going to be out on a fielder's choice, he ran it out and gave him a chance. But a tough, hopping ground ball from Amari Conley and a nice play from Nathan Helene ended the inning and stranded a pair. So a good first 2 frames from Ryan Oakes. 1-1 the count on Guangarena. Woody working out of the stretch as always. Gets a high fly ball into left field, and Amari Conley can only watch that one fly. A leadoff bomb for Guangarena makes it 3-0. Pirates on top of the Power.
That ball was absolutely hammered. I believe there is a net out there in the outfield. That ball went over the net onto the building back behind it. That was absolutely towering. At first, I thought it was going to be a fly ball, and then Amari Conley barely even moved and quickly over the fence.
That ball was hit so high in there. I was watching Amari Conley react to it. it looked like, okay, it's hit so high, it might have just hung up for him, but then he turned around and you see that thing go nowhere near the fence. It was over the trees. So a no-doubt bomb makes it 3-0, and Jordan Viramontes takes a strike.
Yeah, for a power team that only has 2 losses and both of them coming to the Pirates, it almost just feels like the Pirates have their number at this point. It's been really fun to watch, but also at the same time, just almost out of the ordinary for the Power to struggle like they have against this team.
In seasons past, there's always been an Inland Valley team that has been a thorn in Palm Springs' side. The last 2, it's been the Legends. This season, it is the Pirates. Cam Woody ahead 0-2. Next pitch, outside. For the Pirates this season, they've already taken 2 from the Power, those both at Palm Springs Stadium. And those both were in the same week. Jordan Viramontes has been a part of a lot of comebacks against the Power and a lot of big innings for the Pirates over the last 2 years. Out of Glendale Community College, one of a handful of guys who's possibly transferring to a big D1. These Inland Valley teams stock full of talent, stocked full of really quality arms, and for the bats, there is no question. 1-2 pitch on the corner, and Viramontes goes down looking. 1 down in the second.
A good pitch there from Woody. I think it might have been a breaking ball that just came back and caught the zone. Viramontes did not like the call, but Woody will take the first out of the inning with a backwards K.
So some window shopping sets up Nathan Helene now. Nobody on and just 1 out. A 3-0 game in the second. Woody's first pitch. Fastball in the outer corner.
So Woody, despite giving up 3 runs so far, has been throwing a lot of strikes. They've just been getting hit and hit pretty hard, if I do have to say. So it'll be interesting to see if he changes approach. Not going to change on that pitch as that falls in for strike 2. Still just absolutely pounding the zone.
So 0-2 on Helene, and for Helene, he's not a guy who blows up the stat sheet. A .235 batting average, but he's been incredibly efficient. 0-2 pitch goes down swinging. So a fastball blown by him sends him down on strikes, but for Helene, that .235 batting average, not the story. The story really is the 11 he's driven in on the season. One of the highest totals on the team, but he goes down, and now it's the 10-hitter Isaiah Walls. In a 3-run ball game, Power's still looking to crack onto the scoreboard. First pitch from Woody, a fastball for ball 1.
For those that might have missed the first game, the Pirates play with 10 batters. They have a DH and an EH just to get guys more opportunities at at-bats. Power sticking with their usual 9.
And it's something you'll see a lot of teams against the Power do whenever they're on a road trip. For the Power, they'll stick to 9 at all times, and when they're at Palm Springs Stadium, everyone's going to bat 9, but when you're on the road and you're hosting, frankly, you get to do what you want. So the Pirates here and all the Inland Valley teams going to get their guys some extra at-bats, and Isaiah Walls ahead 3-0. Walls on the season batting .077. And they're going to ask if he went. He checked his swing, but he did not. So a 4-pitch walk gets him aboard. And more importantly, Luke, it turns it over to the top of the lineup with Javier Cadena.
Cadena grounded out the second in his first at-bat, but top of the lineup figured out a way to get 2 innings out of the 2 runs out of the first inning. And they're going to be looking to do more damage here with 2 outs.
Javier Cadena batting an even .300. He's got a home run on the season. The big lefty bat watches strike 1. Grounded out to start the game. Grounded into A 4-3 put out on the first pitch. Right now working with a 3-0 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. Whitty's pitch is hit on the ground, but foul. 0-2 now.
So Whitty again ahead in the count. He walked the last guy on 4 pitches, but has been ahead in almost every count he's faced, or it seems that way anyway, but giving up 3 runs so far, just hasn't gotten the results he's been looking for. But if he can get out of this inning with only giving up 1, he gives his team a chance to give him a comeback.
Whitty, 0-2 pitch, and he threw right by him. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, Whitty says to Javier Cadena. Whitty strikes out at the side, but the solo home run from Juan Garena puts another run on the board. 3-0 going into the third.
Yeah, I got it.
Guy Franklin checking in to do some play-by-play here. Alongside me is Luke Dreyer. Oaks back out to pitch for the third. His first task will be the top of the order, Michelson. Ball 1 to the catcher. That one misses just outside. So 1-0 on Owen Michelson. Oaks looking in, getting his sign. And that one's in there. Evens the count up at 1-1. Oaks has been great so far, Luke.
Yeah, 2 innings of work, no runs, only given up 1 hit so far, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 base runners in total.
That one's grounded to short. Picked up. On to Viramontes at first, and Michelson's retired for the second time. Easy play for Isaiah Waltz over at short. But still, good to make him nonetheless. We saw Evan Spencer make a couple errors for the Bucks last game.
It didn't end up mattering too much as the Power ended up winning that one 10-4. But if they had been closer, those errors come back and might be haunting you as you go to sleep tonight.
Oaks' first pitch to Cunningham is downstairs, ball 1. So that's the second hitter of the inning and the second hitter who he's fallen behind against. So sort of the opposite on this side of the ball. 2-0, because we're seeing Oaks pitch to wonderful results and being willing to throw the ball out of the strike zone. That one lined up the middle, but it's going to be a nice play by Helene to stab it backhanded onto Viramontes at first. Cunningham set down 4-3. So Oaks working really well from behind these hitters. Not quite the same thing on the other side.
Yeah, we've seen Whitty get ahead in a lot of the counts, and it's almost been reverse of what you'd expect. Oaks falling behind early with getting the outs. Whitty working from ahead, giving up 3 runs so far. So maybe we'll see regression to the mean, or perhaps this game will continue as the way it has been. Although that one will drop in for a strike.
So what explains that then? Is it just that Oaks is nibbling a little bit more, so there's not much that the power can do with those pitches?
Could be, or it could be that the power, they're just looking to swing. They're getting in some hitters' counts. They're swinging away like that one there as Brett Williams misses. But
Oh, too early to him.
yeah, if you get up 2-0 or 2-1, you're looking to swing, put a ball in play, and they just haven't made very hard contact yet. It's been some pretty routine plays for these Pirates defenders.
Yeah, the hardest hit ball was as that one misses for ball one. The hardest hit ball was that Baltimore chop from Amari Conley, which wasn't leaving the infield.
Yeah, and then for the Pirates, they're probably playing the opposite side. They're playing in defensive mode, don't want to strike out. That one just about misses. Brett Williams holds his swing. But they're swinging away because they don't want to strike out, and they're just putting it in play. And we saw one leave the yard. We saw another one hard hit into the gap for 2 RBIs, and that is where the score stands right now at 3-0.
Oaks steals. That one hit on the ground. It's the same thing to Helene, Viramontes, and 3 hitters, 3 groundouts. It's 1-2-3, go the power. That does it for them in the top of the third. We'll be back in a few short moments. All right, we're back for the bottom of the third. It'll be the Pirates' half of the inning. Leading off for them will be the catcher, Jackson Gray. Reached his first time on a single. He's been one of their best hitters all year long. OPS above 1,000, batting average above 450. My name's Guy Franklin, alongside me, Luke Dreyer. The pitch from Whitty. Upstairs, that one misses. So Gray ahead in the count, 0-1, 1-0.
He had the first hit of the ball game in the first inning, came around to score off that 2 RBI double from Briseño, and he'll be looking to do the same again here.
That one's in there for a strike, so 1-1. And that hit that he got last time was a solid contact, but to the third baseman, just wasn't able to make the play. In there, strike 2, 1-2. That came in a 2-2 count, though, so he's not exactly in uncharted territory yet.
Yeah, we've mentioned it a couple times. Whitty throwing a lot of strikes. His pitches are just getting put back into play, though, so we'll see if he can dial it in here. That one gets a fan.
Swing and a miss. Down goes Gray. So here comes Luke Madur, the left fielder. Madur's been solid on the year. More than solid. 444. The one problem, though, a lot of singles and not a ton of walks. So you sort of know what you're getting from him. No homers on the year. 5 ribbies. Well, that's the kind of hitter that you need. You need a guy who's going to put the ball in play. He's going to get on base. Takes that one for a ball. He's going to swing at the right pitches. We've talked a lot about how important swinging at those right pitches are, Luke. Not wanting to swing at balls, wanting to swing at strikes. Fans at that one can hear the breeze from up here. So Madur back into that right-handed batter's box. Whitty finds a pitch he likes, comes, sets, rocks back and forth. Kicks, fires. Fouled back by Madur. Madur singled his last time up, came around to score on the Armando Briseño double. So he's already made a voyage around the base paths. He'd like to take another one. 3-0 Pirates. Whitty comes set, kicks, deals. Swing and a miss. His second strikeout of the inning, and Whitty's heating up.
Whitty's last 5 outs have all been punch-outs, really just starting to deal here. Gave up the home run last inning, and then since then, I don't know if it made him angry or something, but he has just been absolutely dealing to these last 5 batters.
Ball hasn't been put in play since that home run. A walk was the 6th batter for Walls. So here comes Armando Briseño, dangerous third baseman. Can play all around the infield. He doubled his last time up. First pitch downstairs, ball 1. Briseño, you'll notice every pitch takes a good long look at that bat. He knows where that bat's going to take him.
In the first inning, it took him all the way to second base as he put a rocket into the right field gap. You'll watch another one fall into the dirt.
2-0. So Briseño, 294 on the year. Solid batting average. Takes his timeout. Takes a moment. Donning the sunglasses today as these shadows get longer and longer with the night. As the sun starts to set, you'll see some of these shadows start to impact the hitters and the defenders. Whitty deals. Ball 3. Briseño in the driver's seat of this at bat.
Yeah, you could say that. I wonder if he'll take a swing here up 3-0 or if he'll just watch this one go by. Wisdom would say you take it, but I feel like in a lot of these CPCL games, I have seen people 3-pitch hack.
We'll see on this pitch. He's going to take strike 1. Still in a great hitter's count at 3-1. I'll feel a little bit more comfortable to be aggressive. Briseño is one of those rare guys who you only see rocking 1 batting glove.
I noticed that. It is quite strange. Almost looks like an NFL QB with that look, but
takes his base. He's reached twice.
I guess it works.
So here comes Mark DeCarlo Jr., the Bay Area product. He's out in right field today. Similar sort of guy to the Bucks right fielder, Bobby Logue. He didn't play in the first round of that doubleheader. Bucks obviously not in this, I'm saying round rather than game for the Power, just because 2 different teams.
Yeah, not something you see a whole lot. Doubleheader with 2 separate teams, but we are seeing it here today.
Sometimes that's just how the scheduling goes in the CPCL. There's ball 1. So Michelson's going to go out and talk to Whitty.
Yeah, it looks like, excuse me, it looks like Whitty not enjoying a lot of the balls. He's had to throw him back a couple times. I saw Michelson talk with the ump about getting a new ball earlier. I wonder if it's affecting him or if he just can't find the zone right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a pitcher, it's probably pretty easy to blame the ball and blame other things when you're having a rough day, but let's see if Whitty can find it. Nobody in the bullpen. This is his inning. He's got 2 outs in it. DeCarlo steps in. He's ready. Whitty comes set. Briseño not leading too far off of first. Kicks, fires. Misses again. Ball 2. And so again, we're seeing Michelson change out the balls. I don't know what it could be. Field was watered between games, so it's not like anything's particularly dusty and slippery.
Like you said, it might be a mindset thing. Just want to find one that you can throw a strike with, but something is not working with these balls for Cam Whitty.
That one hit on the ground by DeCarlo, picked up at second base, and on to Arredondo for an easy 4-3 ground out. Valenzuela picking up that ground ball, and so we'll move on to the fourth. Back for the top of the fourth, I'm Guy Franklin, Luke Dreyer alongside me. So, let's get started in this second third of the ball game. Oaks back out on the mound, laying down to bunt, and that's going to hit him, but didn't pull the bat back. So, that'll be a hit by pitch strike. They're going to go deliberate it, the two umpires. That's not Junior Rodriguez up. That's Blake Mitchell, the pinch hitter. And so they're going to call it a hit by pitch strike. Power asked the two umpires to deliberate. Did he pull the bat back? He squared around a bunt, hit him. Looked like in the hand or arm area, though didn't seem to affect him too much. And so it's an 0-1 count for Ryan Oaks. Mitchell takes that one low. So 1-1 now. Gotta love the old hit by pitch strike, don't you, Luke?
Yeah, unfortunate as a batter, but when you swing at a ball that hits you, you did something quite wrong as he takes another ugly swing there.
That one was in the dirt. Can't lay off of it. 1-2 count now to the pinch hitter, Mitchell. Pretty early to go to a pinch hitter, only the fourth inning. You think there's something wrong with Rodriguez?
Yeah, it could be something wrong, or he could just be tired. He's already played 12 innings. Blake Mitchell came on at the very end for the power in the last game, so might be just giving Rodriguez some rest.
That one tapped in front, picked up by the catcher, Gray, and throws him out at first. Looks like the elbow guard of Mitchell fell off in the process of that one. Right around first base, but they're going to say Viramontes caught it before Mitchell got there.
A close play. We get to see the rare 2-3 out. Swinging bunt there from Mitchell. And I think I saw Gray jump over his catcher as he was fielding that ball. That was a weird one, but worked out for the Pirates, and Oaks will keep on dealing.
Yeah, Oaks jumped over Gray as Gray went to field the ball. Gray definitely had the better angle at that. So here's Caden Richards. Oaks kicks, steals, downstairs.
I love when baseball players, especially pitchers, show off how athletic they are. Ryan Oaks looking almost like LeBron James jumping over his catcher there.
Pitchers are athletes. Scream it from the top of every building. That one misses.
Unfortunately, we don't get to see them bat anymore, but I always love to see a good defensive play. And even though he wasn't the one making the defensive play there, Really just showed off the hops by getting over his catcher.
Gotta love the acrobatics. That one hit deep into right field by Richards. That one's going to be off the wall. And DeCarlo played it poorly, so Richards is just going to keep running. Rounding third, he's on his way to rounding second, on his way to third. That one in safely. Headlong slide. Triple for Caden Richards. So 1 out and a runner just 90 feet away as Arredondo comes up to the plate. And he had 2 hits in the last one.
Yeah, he's definitely a dangerous guy to be up right now. Had a deep fly ball into the gap last game. He'll be looking to do the same thing here, but
long fly ball scores the runner from third, and sure, you can say that's only 1 run, you're down 3. You're early enough that you just want to chip away as he looks at strike 1.
Struggled in his first bat against Ryan Oaks, though. Kind of an ugly strikeout, so he's definitely looking to bounce back here, drive in a run, and get the power on the board to start this comeback.
And Ryan Oaks trying to prevent that as he throws the 0-1 to Arredondo, swung on and missed. 2 strikes now on the first baseman for the Power. Oaks looking in, getting his sign, finds one he likes, comes into the stretch, kicks, deals. Upstairs. So Arredondo, 2 strikes on him, lives to see another pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wave and a miss. Oh no, they're going to say it's a foul tip. So he'll stay alive. That one got past the catcher, Gray. Still 1-2. We'll do it again.
Arredondo still does not look comfortable against Oaks. Some little chops, just kind of sticking the bat out there to try and stay alive in this bat.
That one's popped up. Going back on it is Viramontes. He'll call for it, secure it, make the catch, and nothing doing at third base. No reason for Richards to test it. That's the 2nd out. And here comes Valenzuela. Valenzuela struck out his first time up. Durazo's actually going to pinch hit now for Valenzuela. Played shortstop last time. Swing and a miss on that first one. Technically a foul tip, but doesn't really matter. So it's the other Caden on the team. Valenzuela pulled back. It's the 2nd pinch hitter. We'll see. That one misses. Counts even for Durazo. Now Durazo, sure, making his first at-bat in this one, but played shortstop the entire game in the previous one. Made a few really nice plays, too. 2-1.
Interesting move here from Casey Dill. He had Valenzuela starting, who didn't appear in the first game, and now he puts Durazo back in, who played all of the first game. So
maybe just giving him a little breather.
Yeah, he also might make the righty-lefty matchup, try and take advantage and score a run here, but Durazo falls back even to 2-2, and he's going to need to put something in play if he wants to score a run.
Yeah, down to his last strike, and long fly ball won't do it here. You gotta find some grass. Richards leading off of third. Strike 3, he got him swinging. Throw over to Viramontes, and that puts him away. So Durazo comes in off the bench, and he strikes out. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. I'm Guy Franklin. That's Luke Dreyer. And we're back for the bottom of the fourth. I'm Guy Franklin. Alongside me, Luke Dreyer. And so, first up against Whitty, it's the UNLV product. Koniarski climbs into the right-handed batter's box. Locks eyes with Whitty. He kicks, he fires. And the first one misses low and away. That's a ball.
Looked pretty good from up here. I guess it just missed outside, but Whitty will be trying to get back. He's fallen behind in the last couple of counts after being ahead for a lot of the second and third inning.
And since he started nibbling more, he's been better. So we'll see if he sticks with that strategy. That one in there. Nice frame job behind the dish by Michelson. 1-1.
Might be changing his approach after giving up 3 quick runs, one of them on a homer. And it was a deep homer at that. Over the wall, over the trees, and over the barrier out there.
Into the residential neighborhood. That's student housing for the students here at Azusa Pacific. Pirates DH is up 2-1 in this one. Pirates themselves lead 3-0. They've had the Powers number all year. Can they change that? Whitty, his pitch. That ball hammered into left field. That's going to find grass. That's going to be into the gap. He's going to be on second pretty easily as Koniarski. He'll be in standing up. So a lead-off double for the Pirates, keeping that pressure on. And now, stepping up to the plate is Guangarena. He homered his last time up. He's the extra hitter for them. Might see him enter the game as a catcher if they want to give Gray a break.
More hard contact there for the Pirates, and someone got up, walked over the bullpen. Doesn't look like they're going to get anybody warmed up quite just yet. It'll be interesting to see how long Casey Dill lets Whitty go out here.
Well, he'll definitely let him see Guangarena. That ball's in the dirt. Trying to go for third is Koniarski, and he's going to get thrown out, trying to advance on the ball in the dirt. So a free first out for Whitty. And just looked like a little bit too much of hesitation there from Cole, and he'll get cut down.
Yeah, not a great jump there at second, and Michelson behind the plate has a good arm. Not really even close.
So Guangarena with the bases empty. Same situation as last time when he hit that home run. He'll watch a strike. So Whitty got himself free of that leadoff double. What can he do now? He deals. Guangarena chops that one. That's going to be in between the pitcher and the third baseman, and he'll get to first after Richards eats it. No throw.
Swinging bunt there, chopper up the third base line, and Whitty and Richards just couldn't quite figure out who was going to take that one. Neither of them really had a chance, and Guangarena is going to stand on first after an infield single.
So the 18-year-old wearing number 18. He's got himself his second knock of the day, and they couldn't be more different. One of them went about 410 feet. That one went about 10 feet. Here's the pitch. That one hammered by Viramontes into right field. That's going to be a single. And boy, you have to imagine, why run on that dirt ball after you've seen these two singles? That would have been a run.
Yeah, Guangarena, the man who hit the homer in the second inning, but Koniarski takes himself out of the base path for him and really takes away an RBI. Maybe not an RBI off that play, but takes away
Definitely
an RBI.
from Viramontes.
Definitely from Viramontes. So base running mistake there cost them a run, but with how hard they're hitting the ball, it almost feels as if they're going to make it up anyway.
So here comes the D2 All-Conference second baseman, Nathan Helene. 0-1 to him there. First pitch to Helene. Helene is dazzling defensively at second base. What can he do with the bat? Well, he can foul that one off of his foot. That's got to be a painful strike, too. And you'd love Helene to get on. You've got the light-hitting shortstop Isaiah Walls up next. If either of them can get on, you get to Javi Cadena at the top of the lineup, which is exactly what the doctor ordered for these rallying Pirates, trying to grow that lead from 3-0 to something more. Whitty deals. That one fouled off. He stays alive.
Couple of weak foul balls here from Helene, but staying alive in the count. Eventually, he's got to put something in play, or he's going to swing and miss. We'll see what comes first.
So I don't have the stats on this, but these two guys might have played each other. Helene out of D2 Vanguard University. Takes that one for a ball. While Whitty's out of Westcliff. Steps back into the box. The pitch. Misses again. So Helene working this pitch count. Viramontes on first. Guangarena on second. Helene hitting. Whitty deals. That ball's grounded up the middle. 4, 6, 3. The throw to the first baseman is not in time. And so coming in to score is Guangarena. That's a 4-run lead now for the Pirates. Scored an RBI, fielder's choice. And so that's another run coming across to score. Helene on first. Here comes Walls, the shortstop. This is just a matter of keeping the pressure on for the Pirates. That ball popped foul. Looking for room is Arandanda. Not going to find any. So that's strike one. Whitty taking his place back on the mound. Comes into his stretch. Kicks. Deals. There goes the runner. And Michelson's going to have trouble handling it, so it's a stolen base for Helene. A great jump, and Michelson just couldn't handle the pitch.
We've had some of these power catchers. First Williams in the first game, and now Michelson in the second game. A little bit of struggle on the transfer end. As a result, we've seen quite a few stolen bases for these Inland Valley teams.
And you've got to wonder what the issue is. It's not a sun issue. The sun is not at all in the eyes of the catcher.
We mentioned some possibility of dirty or slippery balls earlier, and maybe that's the case with the trouble on the transfers. Maybe it's the case with Whitty not liking the balls out here. Something not going for these power players.
So there's a runner in scoring position for Walls. That ball hit out to left field. It's got a chance to find grass. It does. It's going to bounce into the wall. That's a double for Walls, and the run's going to come across to score. It's a 5-0 lead for the Inland Valley Pirates.
Another hard hit ball off Cam Whitty. He has kind of been getting shelled in this game, and somebody, it looks like, finally warming up in the power pen. Can't quite tell who it is, but can only be a matter of time before Whitty gets yanked.
We'll see who it is. Whitty's now given up 5 in 4 2/3, and you have to remember one of those was a very fortunate situation. It was a wild pitch that Michelson was able to throw up Koniarski, trying to steal the bag. First one to Cadena misses. Cadena's grounded out and struck out so far. He's trying to join the Pirates party.
How successful he's been this season, you can only imagine that it's only a matter of time before he finds a way to reach. And Whitty, again, is going to change the ball. Something about these balls Whitty has just not liked today. Be interesting to see an explanation from him after the game because there was not really a problem in the first game, just been here in the second, and whatever it is, it has been an absolute nightmare for Cam Whitty.
Well, so one thing I guess that it's worth mentioning is that the CPCL doesn't have a specified brand of baseball. The rules state that it has to be a college level ball, but it could be Rawlings, it could be Wilson, as long as the ball is used by a conference in the NCAA or NAIA, then it's fair game. So, obviously can't go to Dick's Sporting Goods and just get a bucket of balls, but it could be a ball that perhaps he's not used to. And that's going to be another wild pitch. And so Walls is going to get himself up to third, 90 feet away, and Cadena's got himself a great count to now do some damage in. But you wonder, I don't know the brand of ball that they're using at Westcliff necessarily, but perhaps it's something different than the Rawlings brand balls that they use here at APU.
Yeah, I haven't seen him have issues with the Power Stadium. That one again on a line into that gap. It's going to get over the head of
Huge
Amari
hit for
Conley.
Cadena. That's going to be another double, so they're just going to switch spots as Walls comes in to score. 6-0. Javi Cadena in scoring position, and here comes the big man, Jackson Gray. 457 on the year.
I think this is the last guy you'd want to see right now if you're Cam Whitty. And with that power pitcher just starting his warm-up in the bullpen, Whitty is going to have to find a way to get out of this inning. But outs have not come easy for him.
Yeah, we can't quite tell who it is from our press box here, but you're seeing whoever that is start to work as quick as possible. And Whitty's going to have another problem with the balls, the home plate umpire coming out there. And we'll see what happens. Michelson talking to him. That ball's going to get tossed back into the Pirates dugout. The Pirates, they're the home team, so they're providing all of the balls. Now, I can tell you, from what I know, is that the Pirates' preferred brand of baseball is Rawlings. This isn't supposed to be an ad or a diss. That's just the fact of it. And so it could be something that Whitty's not used to. Do you happen to know what balls they use at? Getting word that it is Rawlings also at Palm Springs, so that one misses. So perhaps it's something. We'll try to figure out what brand of ball is being used down in that dugout. See if that's what it is. Because I can't imagine it'd be anything else.
Yeah, we have a name on the guy warming up in the dugout. It is going to be Joe Godoy. But, yeah, I don't know if it's been the story of the game, but definitely a factor has been those balls that Cam Whitty has just not liked and really have seen the fruits of those labors here for the Pirates as they put another one in play.
Gray's going to hit that one down the left field line. That's fair. That'll be another double. Coming in to score is Cadena. Gray's in, standing up. So, again, switching spots. Second base is the place to be as the Pirates try to keep their playoff hopes alive and try to delay the celebration for the Power.
Casey Dill going to come out to the mound now. We see Godoy trotting in from the bullpen, and it looks like that's going to be it for Cam Whitty. Whatever it was today just did not have it, and Power now are going to need to find something to come back in this game after being down by quite a bit here.
All right, we'll come back shortly once Joe Godoy is finished warming up. new noodle for the power. It's Joe Godoy. Godoy so far, 8 2/3 innings, 4.15 ERA. So hard throwing righty's been solid, but not unhittable. And stepping in is Luke Madur. Godoy's first pitch misses low. Madur singled and scored and struck out in his 2 at-bats. He'll try to knock in Jackson Gray from second. 7-zip Pirates. That one, hard ground ball off the mound. That's going to be up the middle for a base hit. Rounding third is Gray. Gray's going to try to score. The ball through. Gray scores. Going to second is Madur. Madur's in. Headlong slide. He's safe. So a single and advancing on the throw is Luke Madur. And again, switching stations.
Another hard hit ball. Pitching change doesn't seem to do it for the power, as single back up the middle, run comes around to score, and advancing on the throw will stand another runner at second base, and that is the 4th in a row that has gone to second base with a run coming in. Just absolute carnage here from the Pirates.
And here comes Armando Briseño, who doubled in the first, and he'll get plunked. So Briseño hit by that pitch, and he's trotting down to talk to third base coach Dylan Kewen. And so he'll shed the bat, trot down to first. No, they're going to say that hit the bat.
I guess that's what they're saying. It looked like it hit him from here. Maybe it was just a stinger off the hands. Hopefully he's okay, but
I thought that hit off of his forearm.
I thought that did too, but not going to get the call from the ump, and Godoy will take it, try and get out of this inning.
Sounded like it hit flesh rather than bat. Fouls that one off, so not affecting the swing too much, hopefully.
Well, if the first one was in question, that one there was no question. Definitely a foul ball coming there.
So Godoy readies back up, so does Briseño. He steps in painfully. Godoy finds a sign he likes, comes into his stretch, and he misses with a breaking ball. Briseño walked his last time up, still shaking off that left hand. So clearly feeling something. That one's a screamer into right field. And oh my goodness, that was the hardest hit ball of the night besides maybe the Guangarena home run. But it's going to land in the glove of Mitchell out there. That ball was hit on the screws, a laser shot. But Blake Mitchell making the catch. Will be back for the top of the 5th. Ryan Oakes back on the mound for his 5th inning of work. He's been spotless so far, no runs. His first task in this one will be Hurtado, the center fielder. Left on left matchup. The first pitch, Hurtado squares to bunt. Can't pull that one back. It's a strike.
Power might be resorting to small ball. Can't really get anything going off of Oaks. Might be just trying to manufacture some runs any way possible.
I think at this point, best idea for the Power might be to sit around, try to work the pitch count, take a few pitches, foul some off, see if you can get to anyone in that bullpen.
Could be, but Oaks is now up 0-2 in this count, and now you got to protect. Can't take a pitch close.
That one's going to hit off the side of Hurtado, right in the back, and so he'll jog on down to first. It's a painful beanball for the center fielder.
Rare miss today from Oaks. Just looks like a slider that didn't get around and just came up and in, hit him. Hurtado will wear that one and gladly walk down to first base after being down 0-2.
So here's the UT Martin outfielder, Amari Conley. We'll see if Hurtado tries anything. Squaring around a bunt, he has confidence in his wheels. He's also got that hand extension sliding mitt, giving himself an extra couple inches of speed. Conley grounds that one to third base. Not going to have a chance at 2. Up with it. On to Viramontes at first. Nice play, Armando Briseño to get Conley.
Good play, charging in, throwing across, and beats the speedy Conley. Runner will advance, but good play over that third from Briseño.
So that'll flip the order back to the top. It's Michelson, the catcher. So Oaks has got himself one out, but there's a runner in scoring position. He'll give him a check before dealing with Michelson. That one misses downstairs. Ball 1.
Michelson so far lined out to second and grounded out to short in his first 2 at-bats. Going to be looking to put something in play here.
Hurtado held on by Helene at second base. There's a strike on the catcher. So Owen Michelson DH the last game. Now behind the plate, just switching with Williams so they save their legs. Oaks is 1-1 pitch. Not offered at, that's ball 2.
Oaks still looking strong here in this 5th inning. Runner stands on second, but with 1 out, if he can put something on the ground here or a fly ball, he's going to be in a good spot to get out of it.
That one, they're going to say it just misses. Gray tried to frame it, but can't quite get the call, so it's 3-1, and this is where Michelson can do some damage.
Yeah, got to be looking to swing here, try and get a run. Power need anything right now as they trail 7-0.
The 3-1, that's down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Coming in to score easily is Hurtado. And Michelson will pull into second base standing. So that's a little bit of a taste of your own medicine for the Power. Pirates dealing with the double, station to station type deal. Michelson's got his first RBI of the game.
Saw it a lot in that last inning, and now Michelson trying to do more of the same, except this time for the Power. And Kai Cunningham going to be looking to trade spots with him, but he, apart from the walk in the first inning, not a great swing into a ground out.
Dealing with that left-on-left matchup with Ryan Oaks, and there's strike 1. And this is an important inning you got to think with the Power. Oaks' pitch count is starting to get up there, and you don't want to let it get out of hand. Swing and a miss from Cunningham. He's down 0-2.
Nice slider there from Oaks. But yeah, if he can get out of this inning quickly, pitch count isn't too elevated so far. He's gotten some quick outs, but definitely wants to keep going strong just because of how well he's been pitching today.
So he looks in, gets his sign. Fouled back by Cunningham. Stays 0-2, but Cunningham stays alive.
I wonder if we might see some motion from Michelson. Maybe not to steal third against Oaks, but Power need to figure out a way to get some runs. There is no 6-run hit, but if you can slowly start chipping away at this lead, you might give yourself a chance to come back in the later innings.
Exactly, and, down 6, you still got, including this one, 4 innings to play with. So you've got time to make that up, but you got to start somewhere. Here comes the pitch. Strike 3, got him looking. So Kai Cunningham set down by Oaks. That's his 4th of the day.
there's a man that can get the power back into this game, we're looking at him. Brett Williams, grand slam in the first game of this doubleheader, looking to put another one over that left field wall and bring the power back within 4.
When we had the home run derby here just last week on Wednesday, that left field wall was a favorite from the participants. That one's downstairs. Wouldn't be a shock to see Williams look for it.
Found it in the first game, trying to find it here in the second, as the power desperately needs some runs if they want to give themselves a chance at coming back.
Williams OPS up in the 1270s after that previous game. That one misses. So Williams caught the first one, and at DH, mentioned that switch with Michelson. And it's Mitchell waiting on deck. Oaks kicks, steals. That one on the ground to short. Diving try from Walls. He's not going to get there. But getting the stop sign is Michelson, and it's a good toss back in from left field. That's Luke Madur out there.
A good hold there from Casey Dill, as that one was absolutely pieced in the left field. But the quicker it goes out, the quicker it comes back in, and Michelson would not have had a chance at home.
Yeah, he would have been cut down. It was a great throw, too, from Madur.
We saw Aaron Donald get cut down in the first game, and Casey Dill obviously keeping that in mind here in the second game. Doesn't want to lose an easy run when runs have been hard to come by. So they'll keep the runner on third there, and now anything into the outfield here from Blake Mitchell will score a run.
Well, Mitchell's going to get pulled back, actually, as they're going to move to a pinch hitter. They don't want that left-on-left matchup, so they're going to bring in Matthew Makate. Makate played right field all of last game. Back in there now. Strike one. So 2 away in the inning. Runners on the corners. Oaks wants to get out of this one, and with his pitch count, his day's probably done after that. 1-1 to Makate.
So Makate playing the entire first game, put him back in here in the second as they feel they need to get some runs on the board. He is probably the best hitter out of all the subs they brought in so far.
And he's working himself in towards that favorable hitter's count. Caden Richards, who did the damage with a triple last inning, waits on deck. Didn't come around to score, though.
The other part about Makate is that he bats switch, so you get that righty-lefty matchup that you don't get from Rodriguez or Blake Mitchell.
3-1 now. So 1 in, 2 on. Power down 6. Need one and need it bad. Oaks, the 3-1. Ball 4, he lost him. Bases are loaded. And so with that advanced pitch count, you won't start to wonder, is this Oaks' inning? And seems like it's not. Head coach Dylan Kewen going to go out and make a change, or at least talk to his guy.
I feel that this scenario is very important for the Pirates. And with Caden Richards already having a double and a triple in this game, Oaks is going to try and protest and get one more batter, but manager is going to have to be persuaded here.
Looks like Oaks is pleading his case pretty well. Kewen doesn't look like he wants to make the change, and he's going to leave his guy in there. We can hear the action in the bullpen just on the other side of our press box. Would love to tell you who that is when we can get eyes on it.
Interesting decision here to leave his guy in. He trusts Oaks. He's been pitching well so far apart from this inning. And if there is one guy, though, that has given him trouble, it is Caden Richards.
First pitch to Richards is in there for a strike. Gets ahead of this dangerous hitter. Richards has doubled and tripled this game. Perhaps on cycle watch, we'll see. That one's in the air. In right field. And it's going to fall. Foul ball. And so there's going to be some arguments for this. The Power are not happy. They think that it's fair.
From standing up here in the press box, I thought that was pretty clearly a fair ball. Maybe that line just not showing up enough, but I think that was a good foot inside the line, and I think that the Pirates outfielders, or at least their second baseman and their right fielder, are going to be thanking their lucky stars that that got called foul.
Yeah,
But
some bad communication there. That should have been an out. DeCarlo and Helene were both zeroing in on it. Neither of them decided to make the catch, but it's going to be a foul ball. The home plate umpire was standing right on the line, so it is his call to make with the other umpire standing over by second base and couldn't quite see it perfectly from my angle, but Luke, I trust you. I think that was probably a fair ball, and they probably got the wrong call.
yeah, the Power first base coach here was immediately asking what was going on, as he saw that ball pretty clearly. And from the reaction of the Pirates defenders, it looked like they also thought it was fair, as they were looking to throw it into home.
I mean, that also could just be a case of you play out everything until they say stop. Aiden Langley warming up for the Pirates. That one's fouled. Definitely foul on that one.
Yep, so Caden Richards maybe gets unlucky, maybe it was foul, but now he's down 0-2. He's going to have to find a way to get some production here.
And look, you can complain about a foul ball call all you want, but at the end of the day, you still got to go up and hit if that's what they tell you to do.
Yep, so looking here, down 0-2, going to take it outside for the first ball of the at-bat.
Tried to get him there with a breaking ball. Can't quite get back to the plate. Find the zone. Oaks gets a pitch, finds one he likes, comes into his motion, pitches. That one hit in the air. DeCarlo and Cadena converging on it. Cadena's going to call him off and make the catch, put him away. Ryan Oaks, have a day. 1 run, 5 innings. It looks like it'll be Aiden Langley the next time the Pirates take the field, but for now, they'll bring up the sticks. Well, we're back for the bottom of the 5th. It's the Pirates' half of the inning. And it's going to be Mark DeCarlo Jr. He'll lead this one off. It's still going to be Godoy out there for the Power, forgive me. 2 P names. And so the big lefty will stand in. Hits that one on the ground hard to first, but easy for Arredondo. 1 away on 1 pitch. 3 unassisted. So here comes the DH, Koniarski.
He was the man out in right field that ball dropped out there. Controversial call, but doesn't end up damaging the Pirates. They hold on to their 6-run lead, and he'll be looking to do some damage with the bat here.
Koniarski steps in now. 0-1 to him after the DiCarlo ground ball out. Godoy winds, kicks, fires. That one's also in there, so quick 2 on him.
Godoy going after him here, trying to force him to swing the bat. If he does not, might be looking at a punch out.
That one's upstairs for a ball, and Koniarski, the DH for this Pirates squad, facing a couple teammates, Jaden Sanchez, who's not in the game, but also the third baseman, Caden Richards. All 3 of them attend UNLV. That ball fouled back. He stays alive. So we'll see if we get some teammate-on-teammate violence here. Potentially a ground ball to third. Actually, that already happened when he was thrown out at third trying to advance on a wild pitch. His buddy Caden Richards tagged him out. That ball's fouled back into the stands. So we'll do it again. Still 1-2 to the DH.
Just doing a good job staying alive. Barely caught a piece of the one before. Caught a little better piece of that one. And confidence got to be growing in this at-bat if you're starting to make contact.
Trying to see as many pitches as possible. See if he can find one he likes. Here's the 1-2. That one on the ground. 5-6 hole. Picked up. Got him. And oh no, Arredondo can't scoop the throw from shortstop. And so that's technically going to be an E6 on Kai Cunningham, but that's 100% on Arredondo. He'll tell you he should have had that any day of the week. Yeah. So it's a bailout for Koniarski.
Great play from Cunningham, ranging over, gets the backhand, throws it on a 1-hop, but Arredondo might be getting a little tired and just a mental mistake there, not squeezing the ball.
Yeah, he's played a lot of innings over there at first, and Koniarski's going to advance on a ball that was not blocked by Michelson behind the dish.
Godoy's defense not helping him out here. Could have been in a very good spot with 2 outs, and instead he's got a runner on second after an error and a passed ball.
Yeah, definitely an unearned run if Koniarski comes around to score. Godoy will be trying to stop that. Not sure where that missed, but they'll say it did to Guangarena. Guangarena homered earlier. He's also singled. Had about 2 of the most opposite balls that you can hit. One that I don't think even made it to the lip of the grass on the infield, and one that went all the way into a residential neighborhood. Here's the pitch. There's a strike on Guangarena. Interesting, that pitch didn't look as good as the one that was called a ball just a couple pitches earlier, so.
Yeah, maybe squeezing the zone a little bit here, but Godoy finds it there.
And that'll be ball 4. He loses Guangarena on the 5th pitch of the at-bat.
Can't protest the ball in the dirt. So Guangarena will walk down to first, and Jordan Viramontes will step up to the plate.
So here's a quick question. With Michelson and Cunningham making a mistake, now Godoy walking a batter, do you think that foul ball should have been, shouldn't have been, is starting to weigh a little bit on these power?
You know, it could be that, an unlucky break after being down 7-0. You get 1 run, you feel like you're back in the game. If that drops down, possibly getting 2, maybe even 3 runs. And now you're still down 7-1. You've played a game already today. You're halfway through the second one, and might just be getting a little bit tired mentally, and just that cannot happen in a baseball game. Otherwise, you see what we're seeing now.
2-0, it's Jordan Viramontes up. Viramontes out of Glendale, but in the transfer portal right now. He'll find himself a Division I home pretty easily. Had a great year at Glendale this year in JUCO. That ball hit on the ground. Cunningham has a chance to rectify his mistakes. 6-4-3. And the Power are out of the inning. So no harm, no foul, despite the error, despite the pass ball. We'll be back in a second.
Top of the 6th inning in Azusa Pacific. Stephen Buxton joined by Guy Franklin. And a new pitcher on the mound. Ryan Oaks' day is over. 5 innings of 1-run ball, and he's got the Pirates in a spot they'd love to be. Up 8-1 against the Palm Springs Power. And they've got a pinch hitter coming up. Instead of Sam Arredondo, it's going to be AJ Bianchina starting us off here in the 6th.
Yeah, Bianchina we saw in that first game. So he's on after resting the legs for a little bit. But more importantly, new pitcher. You get Oaks out, who's given you so much trouble the whole game. The time you finally start to get to him, out he goes, and in is Aiden Langley, Cal State Fullerton right-hander.
You said the righty out of Cal State Fullerton. He played some of his college ball here at Azusa Pacific.
Happy hunting grounds. Had a mid-3s ERA here.
So AJ Bianchina's got his work cut out for him. It's going to be Bianchina, Valenzuela, and Hurtado. The first pitch, Bianchina sends that in there, but it's in foul territory. And the third baseman, Briseño, is going to catch that.
Just nothing doing there for Bianchina. And so here comes Durazo, who pinch hit for Valenzuela earlier on.
So 1 away in the 6th inning, a 7-run ball game, 8-1 the score. The pitcher, Aiden Langley, coming up against Caden Durazo. Struck out his last time up. First pitch, Durazo watches ball 1 below the zone.
Yeah, and that's going to be another key, just working these counts, getting on base. That's all you can really ask for if you're the Power. It seems out of reach, but 7 runs isn't insurmountable.
They've done more with less before, but it's not common that they're going to have to come back against an opponent of this level right now. Inland Valley Pirates, one of the better teams in the CPCL. The next pitch on the ground, a chopper down to third base. Briseño, an off-balance throw, gets by the first baseman, Viramontes. Durazo will go to second. He'll stand there, and he reaches on an error.
And you've got to wonder if the heat is causing any of this for the Pirates, and especially for the Power. We've seen errors on both sides, errors galore, in fact. And, you know, we saw that with the Bucks as well in the first game. Evan Spencer made a few. He's typically pretty solid at short. And this is something that we just didn't see in yesterday's game between the Legends and the Halos. Doubleheader yesterday, I should say. There were 0 errors combined between both games. So I really do wonder if it is the heat and the tiredness starting to wear on these guys.
Now it's Derek Hurtado. He's got 1 down here in the top of the 6th. A 7-run ball game. Watches ball 1 inside. Again, Pirates up 8-1. And the bulk of those 8 runs with a 5-run 5th inning.
Hurtado is the only Power who has come to score. Would you say Power as one of them? A powerful man?
I just say power player.
Guess that probably makes more sense.
1-0 pitch. Hurtado checks his swing, but they're going to say he didn't go around. 2-0 the count.
You know, you have to wonder if there's an umpire standing down that third base line if he says he goes, because it looked like he went from here, but we're obviously behind him.
2-0, Hurtado at the dish, Conley on deck, trying to flip it over to the top of the lineup, and a big cut there. It's 2-1. Just 1 out, though, and again, the Power trying to work their way back here. A chance to celebrate on this field for the first time since winning their 10th championship in program history, their 2nd CPCL championship. 2-1 pitch. Drags him away. It's 3-1.
And so this starts to get a little bit nerve-wracking if you're Langley. Obviously, that runner on second isn't your responsibility. Briseño unable to make the throw. Viramontes unable to pick it, so that's an error. But you still don't want to give this Power team any semblance of hope.
3-1 pitch. Off the hands, but pulled foul. 3-2 now. Home cooking's been fantastic for the Power. They've been nearly unbeatable at home. And a lot of that is what fuels that close to 895 win percentage by Casey Dill in his power tenure. But he's been a monster on the road. Since I've been here the last 3 years, the Power have not lost a road game, including the playoffs.
That's just incredible what this program is able to do.
Slaps it down to third base, and that's going to skip away from Briseño. They're going to send Durazo to third, and going into second is Derek Hurtado. He'll stand there.
Boy, that's a really rough play by Briseño. That's his second error of the inning. That one, much less forced than the throwing error. But how on earth is Durazo still at third? You have to figure that he would go on the single, and then you have to figure once there was the bobble in left field that he should be home.
Some hesitation from Durazo keeps him at third, and Derek Hurtado at second. Two in scoring position for Amari Conley.
This is a situation where you're pitching for a strikeout.
1-0 count, just one out. Again, two in scoring position, and yes, that strikeout would be so impactful right now in a game where the Power are trying to come back from down 7. 8-1 the score in the top of the 6th. Conley watches ball 2. 0 for 2 today. He's grounded out twice. Once to second, once to third. If he could hit a ground ball up the middle, it would score 2.
Conley just needs a base hit here, and you got to feel like the Power are back in down 5.
Right now, he's in a hitter's count, 3-0. He's got the top of the lineup on deck, Owen Michelson.
I would be shocked if he swings at this one, Steven.
Unless it's right down the middle. Conley probably keeping the bat on his shoulders.
We'll see what Langley does.
Langley's pitch. Conley swings and chops it on the ground. It's foul.
Well, I look dumb right now, but I swear that's not a situation that you should be swinging in, especially down as many runs. You just want base runners. You just want chances. Now he puts himself in a position where he's got to get on a real way. He's not going to have that 3-0 count advantage. 3-1, you figure he's going to be aggressive.
3-1, Conley lines it, and that's into the outfield for a hit. Durazo scores. They're going to hold up Hurtado, and it's 8-2. RBI single for Amari Conley.
Great job by Conley there, just sticking with that off-speed pitch. Going the other way with it. That's exactly what he needed to do. Hit that ball too hard. Didn't even give Hurtado a chance to score.
So a speedy runner on first now, and Owen Michelson, the leadoff batter at the plate. Don't be surprised if Casey Dill gets some runners moving here. Just one out in the 6th.
But 2 errors. The Pirates should be swinging those bats right now, and instead, they're fighting off a rally.
Ball 1 to Owen Michelson. Michelson 1 for 3 today. He had an RBI double in the 5th.
The only RBI prior to that Conley single.
1-0 pitch. Roll over down to third, and the throw to first. In time, they'll trade it out for a run, so an RBI fielder's choice.
And that's the position that you do it in. You trade it out for a run when you're up by 6 runs. You can be fine with a 5-run lead. Obviously, you'd prefer it to be a little bit bigger, but I think Briseño's just happy that he got any kind of out. He's already made 2 errors this inning. One of the throwing variety, one just skipped over his glove.
So 2 away here in the 6th. Top of the inning, Kai Cunningham coming up. It's a 8-3 game now.
Cunningham's had a tough ball game.
He walked in the first. Since then, he's grounded out and struck out. And he was out on a fielder's choice that Brett Williams reached on. He's ahead 1-0. He's got Conley at second, just trying to chip away against this lead. Langley fires, and that pitch is fouled off. It's 1-1.
And now for Cunningham, all he's looking is to get a ball to touch that outfield grass. You've got to assume Conley's taken decent leads over at second. You've got to figure he's got at least a a fighting chance to score on anything with 2 outs because he's running on contact. One more run is all you need to feel like this inning is nothing but a victory.
Line drive that's going to go right into the glove of Walls at short. He'll throw to first to end the inning. 2 score for the Power. They're starting to claw back. It's 8-3 going to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th inning at Azusa Pacific. Score is 8-3. Pirates leading the Power. Nathan Helene starts us off. It's Helene, Walls, and then top of the lineup in Javier Cadena. And the first pitch out of the hand of Godoy is called strike 1.
Helene, the second baseman out of Vanguard University, had a great year in Division II baseball last year.
Second pitch out of the zone, 1-1 now. On the day, Helene 0 for 2, but he did drive in a run on an RBI groundout. One and one pitch on the ground to AJ Bianchina from second. He'll throw down, and we've got one away in the 6th. Couple defensive switches. Kai Cunningham's going to be playing at first instead of Aaron Dondo because AJ Bianchina switched in for him last inning. So Bianchina to second. Durazo playing short.
Yeah, and I think that defensive switch was mostly off the fact that Cunningham had a misplay and error over at short, and so did Aaron Dondo at first. So trying to shore up the defense, although might sacrifice a little bit of offense with that switch.
You're never disappointed to plug in a guy like AJ Bianchina, though, batting well above 300 as the first pitch is a strike to Isaiah Walls. A guy who's spent his college time at University of Charlotte and Pepperdine, split between the two. 1-1 now on Walls. He's a plug-and-play guy, whether it's second, short. He can even play a little bit of third if they stuck him down there. Plays the infield well, and a bat you could throw all over the lineup. 1-1 pitch is fouled towards us, and that's going to nearly coming in the booth.
Yeah, I probably saw a little bit of a camera shake right there. The ball hit about 6 inches away from our camera setup. Look, Walls, I know he hasn't had the greatest CPCL season so far, but he had a great year at Concordia University down in Irvine.
Walls lines that right at AJ Bianchina, bobbles it on the ground, but picks it up to throw him out. So a couple 4-3s start us out in the 6th. And with 2 gone and an 8-3 lead, Javier Cadena is stepping up.
Javi Cadena doubled his last time up as part of that stretch of 4 straight doubles before they finally stopped the bleeding and brought in Godoy. That was back in the 4th, that 5-run 4th inning. 2 down now for Javi.
With 2 away, Godoy just trying to make quick work. First pitch below the zone, ball 1.
Javi Cadena, part of an awesome baseball family. 2 brothers, both of them play college baseball. One of them, the catcher for UCLA, or USC, forgive me, I'm going to get beheaded for that one.
Especially by the guy sitting to my right. Luke Dreyer, a current UCLA student.
Regardless, Cadena, the elder Cadena, got some playing time in the NCAA tournament this year before USC was taken out.
Cadena lines that right at the glove of Durazo at short, and he can't make the play.
So that ball was hit hard enough. I'm not sure if they'll give him an error or if they'll give him a single. We'll have to check with our official scorer, Luke Dreyer.
I'm giving him a single for right now because that ball was absolutely roped. So it extends the inning for Jackson Gray.
Gray, another part of that 4th inning double train. Cadena's got wheels over there on first, so I wouldn't be shocked to see him run, try to make something happen with 2 outs.
First 3 batters, all of the balls going up the middle of the infield. 2 to AJ Bianchino, resulting in outs. The next one, a single straight at Caden Durazo.
Cadena's not got too big of a lead.
0-1 as Gray fouls it off. 8-3 the score, a 5-run lead for the Pirates. Just trying to hold off the celebration for the Power by at least 1 more day.
One thing to note, these shadows are getting long. Hitting's going to get harder until the lights come on.
And you don't need to worry about where the pitch is going when that one was a ball out of the hand. It scoots Gray off the plate, and it's 1-1 now. And going to second on that wild pitch is Cadena. So 1-1, 2 down here in the 6th.
Base hit scores Cadena here. That's all you can ask for from Gray. Gray's had an awesome hitting season.
And so far today, it hasn't been too shabby. 2 for 3 on the day. They're going to check back down on Cadena, but to no avail.
Cadena only 18 years of age, but already pencil him into that starting outfield over at Cal State Fullerton next spring.
Godoy's pitch in the dirt. A nice block by Michelson.
Back pick over to second, but not a chance at getting Cadena.
Gray was the last pitcher, or the last batter that faced Cam Whitty. An RBI double in the 4th knocked him out. And it was part of a 5-run 4th that made this game 8-0.
So Godoy's had a ton of success as that one's fouled back over us. But you've got to wonder, now that everyone in this lineup has seen him, does that second time through it start to get a little bit more dicey? Guess we'll have to wait and see. But
yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Right now, he's a pitch away from getting out of the 6th, preserving a 8-5 or 8-3 game. Next pitch in the dirt, and that's going to be a walk.
Cadena up to third on the wild pitch, though, so just 90 feet away from scoring. Shouldn't make too much of a difference with 2 outs, but still nice to get there in case you decide to go on this field, though. Not a huge backstop for give him a chance on a wild pitch.
And that is a factor, a much bigger or a much smaller backstop than that at Palm Springs Stadium, where anything behind the catcher goes about 30-plus feet before it even gets to the backstop.
Yeah, it's worth noting this is the smallest backstop on this CPCL season calendar, especially now with UCR off of the list of venues here at Azusa Pacific. Mount Sacs got a slightly bigger one. Cal Poly Pomona's is monstrous. Palm Springs, obviously, like you said, about 30 feet back.
That one on the ground to short, bobbled by Durazo, and they're going to take it the short way to second, and they get Gray out on the bases. So ground ball from Luke Madura ends it here in the 6th. To the 7th we go. It is 8-3, Power trailing the Pirates. Top of the 7th inning at Azusa Pacific, Brett Williams, Matt McCate, and Caden Richards, the first three due up. Welcome back, everybody. Stephen Buxton joined by Guy Franklin in an 8-3 ball game. Power punching up against the Pirates on a day where they can clinch a spot in the CPCL playoffs.
I think we're going to hit a slight offensive snag this inning, though, with the shadows. I think that this is the kind of thing that might last us an inning and a half kind of thing. So, got to feel good for Langley out there on the mound.
And the shadows are in effect right now, getting towards that twilight hour. Aiden Langley trying to take advantage, and it's an 0-2 count very quickly to Brett Williams.
And not two pretty swings either. That one just there fell down to a knee. He was so early on a breaking ball. You can tell that they're having trouble seeing it out the hand.
0-2, Langley set. Here in the 7th inning, nobody out, nobody on. Working out of the stretch, kicks and fires, and a sort of a safety swing by Brett Williams just to keep himself alive.
But that's all you can do. With these shadows, with 2 strikes, you got to shorten up that swing. You got to try to put something in play, make something happen. These fielders are dealing with the shadows as well, especially on the left side.
Off the hands into the hole. It's going to be a long throw, but Brett Williams a single.
Yeah, not a chance there from Walls. He did well just to corral it, but 5-6, Langley got what he wanted. He just couldn't quite get the placement just right on that ground ball. So it'll be a single for Williams.
So now Matthew McCate walked in his first at-bat, and he's the third guy to hit in this cleanup spot. Junior Rodriguez only got 1 at-bat. Then they went to Blake Mitchell. McCate the first one to get multiple shots. He's got nobody out and 1 on here in the 7th inning. Langley's pitch above the zone.
So Langley choosing Cal State Fullerton rather than Texas, but he's pitching well thus far. He's got to use those shadows while they're on his side.
They do have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen, but that one fouled off by Matt McCate.
So that's Stradley out in that bullpen for the Pirates. Stradley on the year, 3.18 ERA, so he's been pretty effective.
Future member of the Colorado Christian baseball team.
Power backup catcher Ben Wade plays there now.
Matt McCate watches ball 2. 2-1 count, nobody out here in the 7th. Again, an 8-3 ball game.
So one other thing worth noting here with McCate's at-bat. Being down 5 runs, especially with these shadows, you'd expect him to be patient, and that's what McCate has been. I say that as he swings and hits one pretty high and far out to left field.
And a good chase in the outfield by Luke Majur, who has to dive onto the berm out there. He got twisted up a couple times, but tracked that thing down, so a really nice play to steal a hit from McCate.
And I don't blame him at all. Again, at this twilight hour, he's essentially looking straight into that sun. You can see he's got the full shades on, but he's still covering his head with his hand. He just can't see anything. It's an incredible job just to make that play.
Now it's Caden Richards, and that ball was not hit very hard as Richards hits one hard right back at the pitcher, who throws it away. They're going to try and double him up, or try and get the out at first, but they do just in time. So 1-4-3 on the play, but it does advance Brett Williams.
So I hope the young kids listening to this broadcast are taking note of what we just saw there. Because what that was a ground ball to Langley. He was throwing it to Walls, covering the bag, but backing him up at second base was Nathan Helene. And so Helene caught the ball and threw it onto first despite standing in the middle of nowhere.
So a productive out for Caden Richards. He does move Williams over, but 2 gone here in the 7th. Bianchina checks his swing, but it's a called strike. And there's going to be a meeting at the mound, but let's go back to that fly out to left field. It was not a hard hit, or it was not that hard hit of a ball, and Madur did not have to run far at all, but when you're dealing with an upslope on that berm going to that wall, and he's basically staring into the sun, I mean, that play anything but routine, and basically saved what could have been extra bases.
A little bit of chippiness there from the Power dugout after that foul tip call on Bianchina as he fouls that one into the dorms.
So
They didn't like it at all, and that's what caused the meeting as Bianchina had some words to exchange with the umpire, and Casey Dill shared his words from down over that third base line.
So, like it or not, Bianchina's down 0-2 with 2 outs here in the 7th. Down 5 to the Pirates. Williams on second. Pitch by Langley. In the dirt, it skips away, and Williams had a big jump, so he'll take third.
Yeah, going to second to third doesn't really matter. It's got to be a catastrophic type bounce away from Gray behind the dish.
So a runner 90 feet away. Bianchina just trying to keep this inning alive. He's got Caden Durazo on deck. Durazo 0 for 2, but he did reach on an error in the 6th, and he scored.
The entire mound in shadows, the entire plate in sun.
And that entire pitch down and in. 2-2 the count.
2-2. I think you go to a breaking ball here. Try to get him to go fishing.
Bianchina's got a good eye at the plate. But he's 0 for 1 today. 2-2 pitch. Lines it down the line into right field. But gone. And foul.
I was going to say, I thought my eyes deceived me. I thought it was a foul ball when you said gone there. But out into the bullpen in foul territory. Will Stradley's got himself a souvenir while he's warming up.
Not the best verbiage right there. Still 2-2, but Bianchina with a hard hit ball that was a couple feet from potentially being extra bases. Next pitch is above the zone, and it's full.
And now, all due respect to Bianchina, he's not of the largest stature at the plate, and so that's a strike for almost anybody else on this power squad. Not a bad pitch at all from Langley.
Payoff pitch. Langley fires. Bianchina ropes it down the line. That's going to skip over the head of Viramontes into right field. RBI knock for A.J. Bianchina. It's 8-4 now.
And what a hop that was. I mean, there's almost nothing he could do there. Skipping along nice and slowly, and then all of a sudden it's taken off like it's a Boeing 747.
A play that, honestly, if Viramontes was simply standing, not paying attention, and not in a ready spot to field, he probably would have had a better chance. Because as a first baseman, he went into that crouch stance. He was ready to field it.
Here's
on
Will
the ground.
Stradley. Dylan Kewen taking out Langley after that ground ball base hit.
So that ground ball goes above Viramontes on a tough hop. It scores Williams. It's 8-4 in the 7th. We'll be right back after a break. Welcome to the arena, Will Stradley taking over for Aiden Langley. 3 runs on his book, just 1 of them earned, but he's on the hook for AJ Bianchina at first. 8-4 the score in the top of the 7th.
So here comes Will Stradley. Stradley's solid, 3.18 ERA on the year. Done a good job out of high school. He's off to Colorado Christian next year. Sits around 85, 86 on that fastball.
And he'll be facing off against Caden Durazo, the first man he sees, and first pitch is in the dirt. 2 outs in the 7th inning. The Power trying to tack on. They've already plated 1. An 8-4 game that they once trailed by 8. Throw down hits Bianchina in the head. It's going to skirt away nearly into the dugout. And Bianchina painfully takes second.
And that's another stroke of bad luck for poor Jordan Viramontes over at first base. First, you've got the ball skipping 10 feet into the air while he's trying to make a play on a routine ground ball. And then you've got the back pick that he's trying to catch glancing off of the face of AJ Bianchina.
So the throw down from Gray goes right off of Bianchina's dome. He's at second. And it's a 2-0 count for Caden Durazo.
Shadow's pretty much a non-factor at this point. The pitching change has taken away that advantage for the pitcher.
2-1 now as Durazo lines it foul. Durazo today 0 for 2, but again did reach on an error. Scored as well.
Worth noting, Stradley isn't the biggest strikeout arm that the Pirates have on the squad. He's more of a ground ball type pitcher. A lot of times you'll see that with guys sitting in the mid-80s at this level.
Stradley sitting right around 85, 86 on the season.
We'll see if that improves with a college lifting program.
A slight frame for Stradley, but that's what you see out of a lot of guys coming out of high school. You don't often see a guy like earlier in the first game where Colby Kramer came out looking like a draft-ready prospect practically.
Until he let up 4 and didn't get an out.
3-1 pitch. Lined up the middle, that's going to get away from Walls, who turned away from it into the gap. Bianchina scores, rounding second and sliding in is Durazo. An RBI double makes it 8-5.
And Walls just couldn't see that ball. He's staring right into the sun over at short, positioned in a way that puts him in that sun rather than in the shadows. That was a line drive about eye level, and he just couldn't see it. I mean, he's got the sunglasses on the top of his cap, which is the first thing I'd say, but the other thing is the sun is pretty bright. The ball is white. When those two are layered right on top of each other, it's tough to see it.
And it's a tough look for Walls until you consider the one spot where the sun really is shining is right where he was standing at short. So he is getting the thick of having to deal with the glare, and Derek Hurtado takes strike 1.
And lots of problems in the Power dugout that they're having from that call. And you got to wonder, are they riling up this umpire? Are they, is he less inclined to give him the call with all of this chirping?
Well, it's a dugout that's been lively through the years. It's an 0-1 count with 2 outs. Hurtado watches ball 1. 8-4 the score now. Or 8-5 the score after AJ Bianchina scored from the RBI single or double.
Yeah, you got to give that a double. I mean, there was nothing that Isaiah Walls could do over there at short. I mean, he just couldn't see it. And I don't think any of us could see it either.
On the ground, a high chopper to second base. It's going to be a tough play for Helene. Hurtado is safe.
And some screams from the Pirates dugout, and reasonably so. That was a bang-bang play.
Hurtado has came in and made an impact with his legs immediately. Most recently, he stole home on 4th of July against the PSCL All-Stars. Right now, he puts runners on the corners on an infield single that he laid out on a ball that didn't even go 100 feet. Amari Conley swings at the first pitch.
And you've got to feel for Stradley. He's done what he's needed twice. He's gotten a ball hit directly to Isaiah Waltz. Then he gets a ball hit directly to Nathan Helene. And let's be honest, I mean, there should be an out recorded there. I mean, I think that was, both of those plays are the kind of things that you expect an out. But the hustle and the sun doing their job for the Power.
Amari Conley, the tying run at the plate, watches it inside. 1-1. In the fourth, Cam Whitty left the game with the Power down 8-0. They've scored 5 unanswered. They've got the tying run at the plate. And Amari Conley already has an RBI. Will Stradley with the 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, ball 2.
One thing you'll see with Stradley is he's got 2 off-speed pitches. He's got a changeup. That one is more of his deceptive pitch, but then he's got a really, really slow curveball. It's a curveball that doesn't even crack 80 miles an hour.
2-1 pitch.
And that pitch hasn't gotten a swing and miss. That slow curveball this entire outing from him. And I know the outing's only been 3 hitters, but still worth mentioning.
For those just joining in, top of the 7th inning here at Azusa Pacific. 3-1 count, 2 outs. Amari Conley sends that in there, and it's a full count now as that's going to go out of play foul. Power down 8-5 against the Pirates. They took game 1 against the Inland Valley Bucks. That score 10-4. This game been much more difficult for Palm Springs. Runners will go. The payoff pitch inside, and that's going to get to the backstop. Here comes Hurtado. It's 8-6 now.
And so all of a sudden, here come the Power. Just a reminder on the stakes of this game. The Power clinch a playoff berth with a win over the Pirates. If the Pirates win this game, and the Legends have a 4-game sweep over the Power, that would put it in a situation where the Legends wrap up the 1 seed, and it all comes down to how do the Pirates fare against non-playoff teams for the last couple games
Owen
in
Michelson
the CPCL
up.
season.
2 runners on, and Michelson watches ball 1. This is a Power team that historically has bludgeoned opponents. From 2023 to 2024, there was a span where they won 54 consecutive games, including starting the season off 38-0. Since then, it's not been too much of a difference. They have had the gaudy win numbers, but a lot of these games have gotten closer, and specifically this season, it has been as close as it can get for a Power season. They started off their season needing to walk off their first 3 games of the year. And right now, with 2 outs, the tying run on first for Owen Michelson. 1-1 pitch. Below the zone, ball 2.
Not sure where that one missed.
Michelson today 1 for 4, but did reach on with an RBI double in the 5th. Drove in 1 on a ground out in the 6th. Needs a hit here. Stradley looks down and fires. Michelson gets hit.
So that loads the bases now, and the tying run is on.
That loads the bases. The tying run at second base. The winning run, or the go-ahead run at the plate, or at first, and at the plate, Kai Cunningham. 8-6 the score. Power at one point were down 8-0. Kai Cunningham trying to put it back to square one. The 9th batter of the inning swings and foul tip. 0-1. After Cunningham, it would be Brett Williams who led off the inning. all of the production done with 2 outs. It's been 5 or 6 straight power batters that have reached. The 1 pitch inside, 1-1.
And remember, Stradley started his day getting 2 routine outs that just weren't made, and so he should have been out of this inning.
Cunningham still without a hit today, but walked in the first. Fouls it off, it's 1-2.
They're not having trouble seeing Stradley at all. Stradley's had the lowest velo of the 3 Pirates pitchers that we've seen all day.
The Power were stifled by Ryan Oakes, and since he's left, they've pretty much said, hey, throw anyone at us. They've scored 6 against the bullpen, and Stradley trying to prevent further damage as that's fouled off.
Does some damage to the dorm hall windows, though.
I'm not picking up that bill.
Maybe we can get a window company sponsor in.
1-2 pitch, Stradley set. Cunningham pops it up, but that's going to go foul. Will it go out of play? And just off the top of the net. Briseño was going to run through a brick wall to end this inning.
He actually opened the gate with his collision into it.
So bases loaded for the Power. They've got Hurtado at third, Conley at second, Owen Michelson at first. It's an 8-6 ball game. Cunningham pops it up, foul again, the 4th of this at-bat. Still 1-2.
2 strikes on him, and we keep doing it again. This is not the spot he wants to be stuck in with 2 strikes. You want to start getting those balls on, put some pressure on Stradley. All the pressure on Cunningham, down 2 runs as well.
Stradley trying to put out the fire here. Cunningham goes down swinging. A fastball from Stradley went by him. But the Power bat around. They score 3, they load the bases, and they've gone all the way back to a 2-run ball game. 8-6, going to the bottom of the 7th. We'll stretch. Joe Godoy back out on the mound with a 2-run deficit for the Power. 8-6, Power against the Pirates. Welcome back, everybody, here at Azusa Pacific University. Stephen Buxton joined by Guy Franklin.
It's Armando Briseño to lead off this inning. He had a bit of a moment down by the third base fence, not really a wall, where he ran through a gate. So we'll see how he's feeling after that collision.
In an 8-6 ball game, a 1-0 count to Briseño. He's reached twice today. 2-0 now.
He's in the driver's seat here. I wouldn't be shocked to see him do some damage, add some insurance runs to this lead.
Godoy in for his third inning of work. He came in with 2 outs in the fourth. Since then, he's taken us. 2-0 pitch. Inside, and that almost hits him. 3-0 now.
Thought that did hit him for a second, but we also thought that one hit him earlier that he allegedly did not get hit on and hit the bat.
It's been an eventful day for Briseño. And it's been an eventful day overall. 14 runs on the board and not even through 7. 6 unanswered for the Power. And the 3-1 pitch, or 3-0 pitch is fouled. It's 3-1.
I don't know why you're swinging in that 3-0 count there. You want to add insurance runs, you need base runners. It's not a solo home run isn't going to help you in this. I mean, it'll help you with 1 run, but you need ducks on the pond. You need extended rallies.
Godoy set, kicks and fires the 3-1 below the zone, and that skips away, but doesn't matter because Briseño's on first with a leadoff walk. Second walk of the day for Armando. Now it's Mark DeCarlo.
And so the thing that you want to look for here, if you're the Pirates, is you've got yourself a lead, but you can't get complacent. This Power team is showing you that their offense is here. You have Taylor Capadia available, but as of now, the Pirates have played the fewest games of any of these CPCL teams. They've got a lot of ground to cover.
That pitch hammered in the air out to right field. Makate will camp under it, and a very loud first out.
Yeah, DeCarlo hit that ball pretty well. Had a chance to go out.
And you mentioned it's a power team, a power offense that you want insurance runs against because over the last month or so, they've been averaging well into the double-digit runs. First pitch low to Cole Koniarski.
And the other thing that you got to picture with this Power team, why you want to tack on, it's colder now. The ball isn't going to be flying the same way that it used to be. We don't know if there's going to be another 6-run inning opportunity.
Just 79 degrees right now here at Azusa. A 2-0 pitch. Godoy gets strike 1.
Koniarski still in that driver's seat. Expect him to be aggressive on this 2-1 pitch.
He's driven well today. He's reached twice, one of them a double. 2-1, low, but the throw down to second's a good one, and they got him. Owen Michelson takes matters into his own hands. 2-4 on the putout.
That was very close at second base. As bang as it gets. And Briseño didn't have a great jump, so that's the difference.
The power catching has been a absolute impact storyline of the season between Michelson, Nick English, and Brett Williams. Most of the time we've been talking about the bats, but the defense has shown. So a walk there allows Nathan Guangarena to reach.
Guangarena homered earlier. The catcher's just using the bat today. So we'll see if he can add anything more to that total.
The extra hitter in this lineup pops one up, but that's foul, and it's going right above our heads, and it's going to land on the press box. 0-1 to Guangarena. He's yet to be retired in this game. He's got a home run and single, and he walked, but he scored twice. He's scored twice, but the Pirates have not scored since the fourth. That the key to the Power attempting this comeback.
And this is an offense that's going to be tough to keep down for all 5 of those last innings.
Pirates just hoping to get quick outs here once they get back out onto the field. As that one's skied in there, out to shallow center field. Hurtado's got a long run in, but he'll camp under to end the inning. A couple of walks, but a nice throw from Owen Michelson. Gains an out, and a couple flyouts for the Pirates. Another 0 for Power pitching, their third in a row. And we'll be right back for the 8th. 8-6 the score, Power trailing. Top of the 8th inning at Azusa Pacific, 8-6 the score, but the heart of the Power lineup due up here. Brett Williams, Matthew McCate, Caden Richards have been in the middle of so many big moments for them this season. Trying to start one here. Strike one on Williams, out of the hand of Will Stradley in his second frame.
One thing to note, the start of this Power inning won't have seen Stradley yet.
Second pitch in the dirt. Breaking ball skips in. It's 1-1. There is a pitcher warming up in the Power bullpen. Can't see the number right now, but it is a righty.
And Taylor Capadia will be available for the Pirates if needed.
Williams tags one into right, but coming in is DiCarlo. And there's one gone in the 8th.
So a good job by Stradley to work quickly. You don't want to have to get to this top of the order again. Even if you can escape the inning without any damage, if there are runners on base and you have to face, 6 hitters, then you're going to book yourself a date with the top of this Power order again.
There is some issue here, though. You're going against the heart of the Power lineup. Again, Matthew McCate and Caden Richards, two of the most potent bats in this lineup. AJ Bianchina staring him down if he can get up. One gone in the 8th inning, a 2-0 count to Matt McCate.
The key for McCate here, just continue to get on, keep that line moving.
McCate hits that foul.
2-0, that's a good time to do damage. Just turns out he's doing the damage to some poor freshman's first week on campus.
McCate was 0 in the first game, but got hit by a pitch and scored. Next pitch is hit a mile in there above the shallow left field. Madur will catch out number 2.
He's got no more sun to deal with, and he's feeling a lot more confident out there.
Again, one of the biggest plays in this game that might go unspoken. A fly ball off the bat of Matt McCate. That was also at Madur just an inning ago, but the sun was straight in Madur's eyes, and it was all the way onto that raised berm in left field. It turned what should be a routine fly ball into an absolutely chaotic situation where Madur made a nice catch. And it's 0-1 to Caden Richards now. Richards watches strike 2.
One thing that you're noticing with this umpire behind the dish, very late strike calls.
Stradley working quick, working out of the windup. He's set, kicks his leg back and fires. Richards on the ground to the right side. And that's going to be an out. So 1-2-3 inning for the Power. Richards goes down on the ground out to third. And they're going to have to go to work in the 9th. But right now they need a scoreless frame put up from the bullpen. There will be a pitching change going to the bottom of the 8th. It's 8-6. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 8th inning, Power need a 0 here, and they're going to turn to the bullpen. Andrew Baltazar coming out of New Mexico Highlands, and he'll take on the bottom of this Pirates order. It's going to be an 8, 9, and 10 due up. Jordan Viramontes starts us off.
Baltazar, solid 4.09 ERA on the summer in 11 innings pitched, so he is fallible. However, still good arm.
And for Baltazar, he's been one of the most frequently used arms for the Power. This his 10th appearance on the season. That ranks 3rd. Tied with Isaac Sanchez. Alex Oliver leading the way with 14. 0-1 pitch above the zone. It's 1-1.
And Viramontes, what he's looking to do here is some damage. He would love to add on another run of insurance before this 9th inning.
11 innings out of the bullpen for Baltazar, and for the guys who are exclusively bullpen arms, that by far the most. 1-2 the count on Viramontes. Swing and a miss. So 4 pitches for the strikeout, the first one of the day for Baltazar. Last time out was against the California Rush. Put up a scoreless inning. Struck out 2. Worked very quickly. But it's been really good work for Baltazar for about a month. Last time he allowed an earned run was on the 17th of June against the Santa Clarita Victory. Since then, as reliable as they come. He's got 1 out and Nathan Helene coming up.
And with this bottom of the Pirates order, the goal is just to get on base. These aren't the guys who are going to go over the wall. Get the top of the order up, get yourself an insurance runner too.
0-1, 1 out in the 8th. A 2-run lead, 8-6. It's Helene, and then they've got Isaiah Walls on deck. Again, an option for the Pirates to go to the bench if they see fit. 1-1 now as the fastball rides up and in.
Yeah, this Pirates team has been very aggressive, changing out their position players. We've seen wholesale substitutions before, so I'm shocked we haven't seen anything yet.
1-1 pitch from Baltazar. A slider for strike 2. For Baltazar out of New Mexico Highlands. Came out to Palm Springs Stadium last year. And a fairly familiar face, or a fairly familiar place with some old friends pitching there as well, as he gets back-to-back strikeouts to start this inning. Came over, and one of his teammates, Richie Amavisca, had been playing here for several years, and now coming in with Jimmy Welsher, who he shared a bullpen with. But a lot of representation from the RMAC, one of the most potent offensive divisions in Division II baseball. For the Power, it's Jimmy Welsher, Andrew Baltazar, and Jacob Petersheim and Alex Oliver representing that conference, as it's 0-1 to Walls. But I say it's one of the most potent offensive producing environments in Division II baseball, because if you look at their numbers, if you look at any of the pitchers, as that one's a ball, a guy in the starting lineup is a frontline guy in that conference if he's got an ERA under 6. And that is not just a frontline guy, that's an absolute ace in that league.
And that's what happens when you're playing in such ridiculous altitude.
Next pitch, a called strike. It's 1-2. And Jimmy Welsher, or apologies, it's 2-1. Jimmy Welsher told it to me best like this. It's basically as if you're playing with 50-mile-an-hour winds to your back every single time a ball is hit. Next pitch misses, and it's 3-1 now to Isaiah Walls. He said that the first time he came out here to Palm Springs Stadium, it just felt like it was different when he was throwing the ball, just because he hadn't thrown in lower elevation in so long. And a lot of the guys from that conference shown a lot of success, but a blemish there as Walls walks with 2 outs.
And that's not the guy you want to walk. You're going to walk the last hitter in the order and bring up Javi Cadena. Cadena's got a double and a single on the day so far, but more importantly, he's got some pop in that bat.
Javi Cadena looking to extend this 2-run lead in the bottom of the 8th. Pirates trying to play upset and delay a possible playoff clinching win for the Power. First pitch, a big swing by Cadena. It's 0-1.
And Cadena knows what he wants to do. He wants to add that insurance run himself, and he knows he's got 2 outs.
Baltazar making the most of his last collegiate summer. He just graduated from New Mexico Highlands, trying to go pro after this season, and it's 1-1. He said he'd be more than happy to take any opportunity afforded, whether it's the indie ball route, whether it's overseas, or even in Mexico.
Also worth noting, the draft's on Saturday for the big leagues.
1-2 as it's fouled away.
Baltazar not likely to get picked in that, but you never know.
But a few former Power players likely to get picked. Most recently, Eli Brown out of Mercer, picked by the White Sox. Aiden Torek out of St. Mary's, picked by the Mariners. 1-2 pitch from Baltazar. In the dirt, but a nice block by Michelson. Two balls, 2 strikes, a runner at first. An 8-6 ball game in the bottom of the 8th. Baltazar trying to end it here. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, but actually they're going to say he got a piece of it.
Yeah, I fouled that one just into the dirt and back.
So just off the end of the bat, Cardenas stays alive off a good slider from Baltazar.
And if Cadena can work himself on, you get Jackson Gray up, who's the most dangerous hitter in this lineup.
Gray already, he scored twice. He had that RBI double in the fourth.
Most importantly, he hits close to 500.
2-2 pitch from Baltazar. Here it is. On the corner, and he got him looking.
Rung him up. Great pitch.
Baltazar had him frozen. He strikes out the side, and most importantly for the Power, keeps it at a 2-run game going to the 9th. They're down to their last 3 outs. They need 2 to tie, 3 to win. We'll be right back for the top of the 9th. Down to the final 3 outs, the Power are. To the top of the 9th inning we go. 8-6 ball game. AJ Bianchina leads us off with Will Stradley still on the mound. It's been 6 unanswered for the Power. Ever since Ryan Oakes left the game, they have gone to work on this bullpen. And they are 2 runs away from closing what was at one point an 8-0 deficit.
And worth noting, Taylor Kapadia, who's got a 2.6 ERA on the season, available out of the bullpen, is not warming. So they're going to live and die with Stradley here.
I'd assume if anyone gets in scoring position, they'll probably start warming him. If anyone gets on, I think they'd probably even get him moving around too. But strike one now on Bianchina. It's a 2-1 count.
And Stradley was super efficient last inning, went 1-2-3, and so now he gets the lower half of this Power order, which is huge.
2-1 pitch, that's popped up, but it's going to go right off the dorm building. 2-2 now.
You can feel the tension in the air. You couldn't even cut it with a knife.
One of the closest, most tightly contested games of the season for the Power, as that one's a grounder, a chopper to short. And Bianchina hustling down, but put out in time. 6-3 on the play.
Yeah, great job just to get a ground ball, do your job, rely on that defense. The sun's not there, which has been the only real problems apart from the bad hops. I mean, maybe there's been an error or two, but nothing that makes you not want to trust this defense. And Stradley's a ground ball pitcher, so he's doing his thing.
For the Power, they've got 6 chances in a row to clinch a CPCL playoff spot. And less than that, though, to clinch the 1 seed. Strike one called on Caden Durazo.
And that's why you start your season 12-2, 13-2 actually, with the win over the Bucks.
Durazo pops it up off the hands to third. Briseño makes it 2 away. So down to their final out now. Derek Hurtado coming up. The Power 13-2 on the season in CPCL play. The Pirates 8-6, but they've taken 2 from the Power already.
And worth noting, the Pirates are still in play for that last playoff berth. The Bucks were eliminated earlier today. Or were eliminated from that 1 seed. The Pirates are in play.
The Pirates and Power played 3 times from the 16th to 20th in June. Pirates bookended that series. The Power took the middle game 15-4. Right now they're up 8-6. But it's a 1-1 count to Caden Durazo.
It's a bloop and a blast away. Conley's hit the ball hard a couple times, but on the ground. If he can get it in the air, assuming Hurtado gets on, then all of a sudden we've got ourselves a game.
2-1 count, 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. Hurtado, then Conley on deck, but more importantly, the top of the lineup coming up after that. Hurtado on the ground to first. This could be it. Viramontes down to Stradley, and the call is out.
3-1 put out. What a great end of the game for the Pirates. No bad hops for Viramontes this time, and it's a huge win.
A huge win for the Pirates. They've taken 3 of 4 against the Power this season, and right now, out of any team in the CPCL, they might control their destiny the most other than the Power. So they fall to 13-3. It's 9-6 on the season for the Pirates. And it all happened really before the 4th inning. Cam Whitty was chased in the 4th after allowing 8 runs. The Power did their best to claw back. 6 unanswered, but the 9th inning goes 1-2-3. Whitty will take the loss. That'll be the first one in a long time for him. And Ryan Oakes will take the win. But for right now, the Power fall to 13-3 in the CPCL. They fall to 24-3 or 24-4 on the season. And they'll have to wait another day to clinch a spot in the playoffs. Up next, they've got 4 straight against the Legends, though, starting with 2 at home starting tomorrow. That'll be on July 10th at Palm Springs Stadium. First pitch at 7 o'clock. And then one more game on Saturday before they get a day off, but on Monday, a road doubleheader likely here at Azusa Pacific. Both games will be against the Legends, likely a 7 and a 9 instead of 2 9-inning games like this one. But for myself, for Guy Franklin and Luke Dreyer, and really everyone who makes this possible, thank you all for joining us here. Power split the road series. Game 1, they take it 10-4. And Game 2, they fall 8-6 to the Inland Valley Pirates.